Good morning, Madison.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm coming to you today from Minneapolis, per usual, but from the convention center instead of home today. So,
I know that's so exciting. I can't wait to hear what all you learned today. It's going to be good.
yep, Taylor and I are at the Digital Summit in Minneapolis today. So, and funny enough, actually, my session right after this is on the same topic we're covering here. So, we'll make
I
sure,
love it.
gotta make sure I'm saying everything right.
Oh, that's great. Well, good morning, everyone. My name's Carrie Foster. I am the Senior Account Manager here at Key Media Solutions.
And I'm Madison. I am a digital strategist on our ad ops team at Key Media Solutions.
Very knowledgeable lady there. So today, Madison and I want to talk to you all today about something that's coming up more and more in conversations around search, which is GEO. And if that acronym is brand new to you, that's completely fine, as we'll talk through that today. For years, we've thought about search primarily through Google, right? Someone types in a question, Google gives them a list of links, and our goal is to make sure our website shows up as high as possible. But now people are increasingly asking tools like ChatGPT, Gemini Copilot, Perplexity, and Google's AI powered search experience those same questions. So instead of getting a list of links, they may get a direct answer. So the questions marketers are starting to ask is, how does our brand become part of that answer? So, like I said, we have the amazing digital strategist Madison here, who has all the burning answers to your most asked questions. So, Madison, let's start with the first one. What is GEO and why are we suddenly talking about it?
Yes. So GEO stands for Generative Engine Optimization. That really is right now sort of the industry speak term. Some people also say Answer Engine Optimization or AEO. Those sometimes mean a little bit different things, but you hear them in the same context. Or you also will hear, I think, more of a client-facing term is AI visibility. But really, what that means is just it's all about how are you showing up and invisible in large language models and AI overviews. How is your brand being talked about? How is it showing up? And the GEO portion of it is the generative optimization part is kind of focusing specifically on increasing the likelihood of making optimizations, implementing content strategies that will help you get cited in those sources. So that's kind of the optimization piece of it.
That's good to know. And a common question we also get is GEO actually replacing SEO?
Yeah, I think that's a really good question for when you're first starting to understand SEO or GEO. You know, this, like we said, this new frontier of AI
Mm-hmm.
visibility. I think it's really important to understand that GEO does not replace SEO. It's just sort of becoming another tool in the search and visibility toolkit of digital marketers.
Mm-hmm.
SEO, even Google has explicitly stated that its own or its own recommendations and practices for SEO and traditional SEO are still really relevant when it comes to AI overviews, and then when it comes to getting cited in other large language models as well, like ChatGPT or Claude. And the importance of that is because AI, especially right now, this is a little different about a year ago, but especially right now, AI knows that it knows when it's reading itself. It knows when it's just reading sort of another version of jumble mumble. But
Mm-hmm.
so it really wants to like quality content. It wants to make sure that there is consistency across many different channels. And so SEO, traditional SEO, and just smart SEO practices in general are a really important part of GEO, but they are related,
I
not
love that.
replacing one another.
I think that's a great answer in response to that question. Another one we get is, can GEO guarantee that a company appears in ChatGPT or another AI answer?
Yeah, so I think this is also really important to this conversation, especially if you're just sort of learning about what this is right now. I don't think that any right now, as it stands, any credible partner or any credible strategist can say that they can guarantee placement in something like ChatGPT's answers and Claude. And that's because those answers are dynamic and the results are going to change often because of wording, location, conversational context, the updates to the platform, different new models roll out. And so guaranteeing it maybe in the next generation of what this looks like in the future, we can have
Yeah.
guaranteed solutions, maybe paid solutions solutions. But right now, these GEO services, or when you're thinking about optimizing for AI citations and visibility, it's really just kind of a promise. Or it's not a promise. It's not a promise, as I've been saying, but it's a hope. It's a way to just like when you do SEO strategies, you can't guarantee you're going to become number one overnight, but it is a way to strengthen your visibility on that front.
Yeah, all this stuff is so exciting to me. Um,
Mhm.
what kind of content do you think performs well in AI search?
So I think the first and most important piece, and this is kind of what the industry said right away when these strategies rolled out, is content that directly and clearly answers a question. One that these AI models, when they're even just Google's search algorithm, when it goes to find or pull something either in its AI overviews or like the AI platforms, when they go to look for an answer, they want to make sure that they know the signals and understanding and context behind a user's query and what they're really looking for. And so it wants some of that deeper detail. It wants some of that deeper meaning. It doesn't
Mhm.
want to know that you can just answer one question. It knows that they're going to have questions. I think something that people talk about as an example a lot is shoes. They know that they're not just looking for red running shoes, right? They might be looking for, ones that are good for endurance, or ones that are good for trail running, or ones that, there's a lot of other questions that it already, or details it already knows about the consumer. And so it's looking for those, and it really wants deeper detail and answers for those queries. And then it also really wants genuine expertise. That's kind of the newest phase of how LLMs are looking for credible information to cite, is it wants to make sure it's not just reading other AI content, that's you can find anywhere. It wants real expertise. It wants consistency about how you talk about whatever your, topic or brand that you're an authority on. It really wants to make sure you know what you're talking about and that you've got some quality information that for it to give to its consumer
I
or
love
the
that.
searcher. Yeah.
Yep, it makes total sense.
hmm It's kind of
And
cool to see
then,
it switch that way, that now it's like, wait, okay, actually now we gotta make sure we're citing quality. That's sort of the new iteration, and it's been interesting to watch.
yeah, and I love seeing it too. It's really
Mhm.
interesting to see it grow and do its thing. So,
Mhm. Totally.
in your eyes, how should a business measure AI visibility?
Yeah, I think that's probably the question of all questions for anyone that's thought at all about AI, optimization and
Yeah,
visibility over the last months or year. But I think it's an evolving answer. Right now, if you use a platform like SEMrush or SE Ranking, they do now have a numerical value associated with AI visibility. And I think that is a good score or a way to begin understanding, how visible you are or how visible could you potentially be, from your website information.
yeah,
But I do think that the best way right now to understand AI visibility is really to just go in and find those answers yourself. Go into those, go and search yourself on Google, go and search your brand on ChatGPT or on Claude, and just see what answers you're getting. Is that information about your brand accurate? Is it, well, for one, is it even showing up? Are you showing up at all? Or is the information that's showing up accurate? Is it consistent across the different platforms? And I think that's probably the best way to just get a base level understanding of the conversation happening around your brand in these platforms, and then yeah, how you're showing up in it.
that's a great answer. I feel like that's super important to do your own research on yourself. So,
Yeah, and we can definitely, I think, in the new age we'll have some, I think, direct number that we kind of can, our direct metric we can measure. But right now, I think that's the best way to just get an idea and start a base level understanding.
yeah, that's good to know. Thank you.
Yeah.
And then just finally, what of all of this information that you shared with us today would you want people to take away with them?
I think that's a great question because this is all a little bit technical and it's a little like,
Mhm.
oh my God, of course, everything's changing again in digital marketing.
Yeah,
But I think the most important thing to understand is just that these conversations are happening. I just looked back last month at some web traffic for a few of our clients from May, June, and July. And
yeah,
in May, we weren't seeing any AI assistant tracking, at least not directly. And now Google Analytics is directly segmenting that traffic, and we're seeing it increase month over month for all of our clients. So even if you're not thinking about it or you don't want to think about it at all, there are conversations happening about your brands in these large language models or in AI overviews, and it is important to at least just understand or try to make sure that information is accurate and consistent about your brand.
I love that. Thank you so much, Madison, for letting us take your brain away for 10 minutes.
Absolutely. Thanks for the questions.
Yeah, and also thank you everybody for joining us this morning. We'll have another one of these next Wednesday at 10 o'clock. But if you have any questions up until then, please don't hesitate to reach out to us or comment in this post, and we'll get back to you.
Awesome. Thanks.
Thank you. Bye bye.